go. We should be on the live.
Don't you have like an intro you play and a script you read?
I guess I
Not
could
some
have an
some
intro.
music?
Sometimes I put background music on for the solo streams, but if I got someone to chit chat with, it might be a little
Do you get
annoying.
do you get demonetized?
From time to time. It's mostly like video game background music, which is pretty
Oh yeah.
chill with YouTube most of the time, but there's the occasional alert, but it's never anything like a strike. It's nothing ever serious. For that sort of stuff. For that sort of stuff. Oh, welcome, Miku. Welcome. Hail to the chat. Today I'm painting aspects. And I got three. I got a Karandris lookalike, the fire dragon from last stream, and I may get crazy and start painting a swooping hawk as well. Just enjoying the colors. What about you, Arby? What are you working
I just finished building and I've started priming 10 beautiful warp talons. And I'm working on a dark commune conversion right now. I don't want to use the actual models for my Alpha Legion. They're just a little too. Their aesthetic doesn't really vibe with my Alpha Legion, so I'm going to try and use some like Guardsman and Scion upgrade kits or Command Squad kits as a conversion.
Very cool. Those are warp talons with the trim and everything.
Warp Talons. So I did up 5 with like all the trimmings and the extra, you know, whatever. I was trying to think of airplane words like flaps and stuff. And then the second 5 I did without the flaps, and I put raptor heads on them just for squad differentiation if I want to run 5 and 5 kind of thing.
Oh, right on.
So it's not confusing for the old opponent, you know?
Oh, I'm a big fan of that rule of thumb. Making it easier for your opponent to make sense of your army. It's so easy to get into your own shit, but not everyone is familiar with the inner workings of the brain, you know?
Yeah, I love a good kit basher conversion more than most, but I don't want it to be like unenjoyable for people to play as. Like, this counts as, and oops, fell. Sorry. This counts as, and this counts as. You know, it should be pretty easy for them. Like, you know.
No, that's ideal. It's what you want.
What I really want.
Yes, I want to pick your brain about the new Chaos Space Marines Codex, because I may or may not be working on a Night Lord's list build, and I wanted to know offhand, like, what stood out to you with regards to, like, which units mess around with leadership tests or leadership penalties or battle shock tests.
Oh, like, is this a thematic list build?
Yeah, that would be.
Oh, so you definitely need to put Noise Marines in.
Okay. I'm aware of the Noise Marines. They stood out to me once I saw that index that GW released, but I don't know how thematic that would be.
No, I'm just joshing you. Well, you can only force Battle Shock so many times. I mean, Harkin's interesting because he causes Battle Shock tests, and he pairs nicely with the Raptors -1. It's too bad Harkin. Honestly, like, I think you said this, so I'll just like chime in and agree. Harkin should have been a Night Lord's character.
He really should have. He still could have been part of Shadowspear, right? He still could have been in the box and been sent by the War Master. Like, Abaddon has the authority to, like, ask legions to go 2 places, right?
Yeah. Yes.
They were too
Well, he doesn't really ask. He just he tells. But,
Yeah, he tells or whatever, and they know what's up.
yeah.
It's too bad.
See what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna crack open the old codex here and just do a peruse. So thematically, of course, you're gonna have raptors. Of course.
Of course, naturally, right?
Raptors.
How could you?
And you're gonna have legionnaires. And I feel like, you could add any kind of vehicle, blah blah blah. And then you're gonna want a jump lord with dual lightning claws. Jump pack chaos lord with twin lightning claws.
Very cool. Yeah. And there's the new model for that, or the new data sheet, so you might as well.
Yeah, the model's unfortunately box locked, but
Yeah, whatever. Kit bash your way, or people have their old ones, or whatever.
yeah, the honestly, it's not that great a model, anyways.
Yeah.
So Harkin's ability, like even if you just want to run him and kit bash him, whatever else, but his ability is an aura. While an enemy is within 6 in the battle shock step of your opponent's command phase, if it's below enemy starting strike, it must take a battle shock. So he pairs nice, right? Like you kill one model, they have to take a battle shock, but he can't cause them to take 2. Just want to look at the Dread Talons. So what do they get? In the fight phase, I'm just looking up the upgrades here. So Chaos Lord, models in the Bears unit have stealth. Oh, that's nice. That goes good with, anything. It's an upgrade. In the fight phase after the bearer has made sex, select one enemy unit hit by one of these X makes take a battle shock. So Willbreaker, this upgrade, this is pretty much like you could do a lot. The thing is like how much does battle shock matter? I think like if you're running a Dread Talon, you want to like dominate. You have the potential to just dominate primary.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like if you're running like a Harkin, and then you're running a guy with Willbreaker, you can like force battle shocks all over the place and potentially just steal primary like crazy.
Oh, the potential is certainly there, and I want to lean into that because that's to the theme, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now there is something. So yeah, you want a jump pack lord or 2, I'd say, because like a lot of these, like warp field thrusters, the jump pack lord's model comes off the board. So you're popping around, you're forcing battle shocks where you need to. And then you've got the pile in. So there's one strat here. Yeah, so you got strats to force battle shock all over the place. And then you've got some stratagems that if it's battle shocked and or below half strength. So that's nice, right? So it's only shooting phase though. Oh, that's garbage. You can you get a reroll hit and wound roll if a unit's battle shocked or below half strength. So if you're forcing battle shocks all over the place, you're increasing the usefulness of this strat, which is really good. It's just the shame it's only in shooting.
Only in shooting.
Lame.
And is it only infantry? Because I noticed a bunch of their stratagems are.
Yeah, it's only infantry. So this is only going to be good for like Havocs. Havocs.
Yep, seems that way.
Havocs.
That's the strong choice for it for sure.
So you got the 3-inch deep strike. So you could take a squad of Raptors with that character. You could deep strike them within 3 on an objective, force a battle shock, make the unit fail because they're rolling at -1 depending, it's usually chaff, and steal an objective, like stay pull like overwhelming force. Oh no, that's kill. But stay, like steal the objectives in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Secure no man's land or something.
So everything resolves around battle shock. So you want probably a jump pack lord or 2 with the upgrades, maybe Harkin, and then you want something that can force battle shock tests from range potentially to trigger the ability to use your strats and stuff. But I wouldn't lean like as much as Battleshock is cool. Like I wouldn't lean 100% into it. I would make that the tool to to steal primary and dominate that way. But like if I were starting a thematic list, I'd start like probably with a squad of raptors, maybe a squad of max raptors. So one or two squads of raptors of varying size. I'd have warp talons in there because they're fun. They're coming down from jump packs. I'd have legionnaires because then they're out there stealing. They're really good, and that new kid is so nice, and I think legionnaires are thematic in any list you build, to be honest.
Yes, full disclosure, like I have a list made.
All right. Well, don't
Want
taint
to pick your brain.
my ideas yet.
Yeah, because there might be, I don't know, you might have suggestions that I may have missed.
Yep. Terminators are always fine. Bikers chosen always good. Yep. I just want to get to, let's see. Yeah, I'd probably throw in some Havocs because they're the best unit to key off your Night Lord strat. Is there anything that forces Battleshock at range that isn't Legends? I wonder if relic-wise, I'd have to load up Battlescribe, but I wonder if the old Scorpius Whirlwind, I wonder if that, because I know like the Loyalist Whirlwind forces Battleshock test. So
that could be something to consider.
I wonder if the Legends Whirlwind Scorpius does that.
I don't want to put that work on you. I'll do a quick check on the new recruits is what I'll do.
Yeah, and I think like
It is a bit intriguing.
yeah. So I mean, it depends on like people's canon and what work they want to do, right? Like Noise Marines are probably more of like a competitive choice, not a fluffy choice.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I can see how they're very good. They're very good.
And I
for
think
Talon.
yeah, I think there's also a point of diminishing returns. It's like, haha, you're battle shocked over and over again. It's like, okay, cool, I tabled you. You know what I mean? That's not fun either. But I think like I think of Night Lords like a raiding party. So Rhinos and Legionnaires, lots of Raptors and Warp Talons, jump packs, maybe Terminators, and I could even see like Cultists, like they've been, bullied and subjugated into helping, that kind of thing, disposed afterwards.
For sure. I think Cultists have a place in every Legion, for sure.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
Not too different from the list you described. I noticed not librarian, excuse the slip. The sorcerer has a leadership test based ability whenever he attacks. So I thought that could feed into Dread Talon kind of in a fun way.
A regular sorcerer?
Yeah, a sorcerer on foot. His whenever he does a psychic attack, like shooting or ranged, they take a leadership test, and he can do mortals if they fail. I think a small amount.
I thought he just added -1.
Maybe I'm mistaken then, but
right.
I believe
Prescience.
It would be
no, you are correct. So that would pair nice, like if you drop Raptors down, because then they're taking leadership tests at -1.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
yeah,
Talon also gives you -1, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they probably do stack. I think you're allowed to stack those modifiers.
I would hope
just
so.
The hit and wound ones you're not to.
So it's pretty
that's
cute.
Fun.
It's a fun little interaction.
That is a fun little find because sorcerers are kind of not great. Not great.
Yeah, and what's their other power? Prescience is like +1 to hit.
Yeah, and I don't. No, they're minus. It makes them -1 to hit now.
Okay.
Why would you ever? Why would you ever keep it the same? Why?
Why? I can't believe they.
In ninth edition, it was +1, so in 10th, let's make it
They
-1.
couldn't even do the courtesy of changing the name.
See, the problem with sorcerers is like, okay, it's chosen and legionnaires. Like, if they'd let them go with havocs, that would have been really nice. But I guess this psychic test, each time this model is selected to shoot or fight, so that means it's got a 24-inch range on that ability. Okay, so you'd want to put him with some legionnaires and a rhino or something.
Yeah, it's sort of the lines I was thinking. The Scorpius Whirlwind from Legends, as you suggested, does do the leadership or the battle shock test.
Oh, that could be fun.
Yeah, I think that's pretty neat.
What's its gun? Is its gun any good?
Scorpius multi-launcher, 4.8-inch indirect blast, 2d3 plus 3. Hits on 3s, 6, -1, 2 damage.
Yeah, it's worse than its Imperial counterpart, but...
Makes sense.
Still, it's fine. It's fine. It's all fine.
Yeah, it works. You know, it's serviceable. I loved in like 8th edition and maybe in 9th, you would have those special weapons on like the Leviathan, like the butcher cannons that would do like leadership modifiers. It was so cool.
Yeah.
So fucking.
They went the way
I
of the
don't really know
dodo because I don't know if you had one or not, but they dropped the Decimator was one of the unit cuts from this codex.
Oh no! So now Decimators and Legends off of off
Yep.
the Codex, or not in the Codex, but off the Imperial Armory or whatever.
It's no
Bummer. I never
longer
had
there.
a Decimator. I never got into that kind of
It was
Demon Engine, but they were good. They're competitive, right?
I
I believe they were.
they definitely had their time in the sun. I was I 3D printed some, but then I never ended up using them.
Fair. Yeah, it's not the greatest sculpt, but I can appreciate
No, it
brings
was
to
a
the table,
crap
you know.
sculpt. Yeah. What's the Scion 40K? I need to look at their instructions. Command, squad, upgrade, instructions, PDF. Just want to see how this goes together. Yeah, so I think, yeah, that could be fun. I mean, Predators and all that too, like regular tank stuff. I think Night Lords is just like a regular army with a large jump pack component, and I wouldn't go all in on the battle shock. Like I wouldn't go full meme, but whoa,
Yeah, I think it, like you said, there is a lack of a cost benefit where it's no longer worthwhile if you go too hard in on it. But I think for the most part, it should be all right. Still have to bring the tools that you need to play as if you weren't building towards Battle Shock.
mm-hmm.
Can't believe this.
What are you doing? I'm getting lots of like mic burps
You are or I am?
on your end. I'm hearing a lot of your like rumbling and banging.
Like, excuse me.
You're excused. I just feel bad for your viewers.
right. You're
Just
absolutely right. So I got Karandris here, basically tabletop. Basically tabletop ready right here. And he is looking pretty nice.
I'll have to pull up the stream and have a look-see.
No pressure.
What time is it? I'm gonna, yeah. Got about half an hour-ish.
Yeah, no worries, dude. I'm cool to continue on. This is a unscheduled impromptu thing, so I'm down.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it's every like when you're doing those builds, I don't know, like do you find like I feel like when you're doing like I think of myself when I'm doing a thematic build, right? Like my version of the Alpha Legion is not always everybody else's version, right? And like because I've read the ADB Night Lords books, like I think in my head that's what I think of Night Lords is this like ragtag bunch of misfits just just hanging on to existence almost,
I think that's pretty. I think that's the popular outlook on the Night Lords. To be honest with you, I think ADB popularized
It's fun. Those books are good.
their flavor.
Yeah. So I was gonna look. Do you know off the top of your head what base size the Dark Communes are on?
Yes, I do. The three characters, like the 3 more special guys, the ones without
Yeah.
the swords, they're on 32s, and then the sword bodyguard guys are on 28s.
Okay. 28 or 28.5?
Oh, 28.5, sorry.
Okay, good.
That was my. Could you imagine if they had.
I could. I could. I was about to rage. And fucking G-dub.
Fuck, bunch of fuckers. They make a 0.5 difference in base size for one unit. Yeah. That's so funny. 5 years still, you could believe it.
Dude, I could absolutely see them doing that. Like, it wouldn't even surprise me in the slightest.
Dude, after the, what's that guy called? After the Warpsmith was put on an oval base, I feel like anything's possible now.
I refuse. I fucking refuse.
Good for you. I refuse right with you.
I'm not doing it.
All your lords are all like laid out, on parade. There's one guy with an oval base. What the fuck's this guy's problem?
I have a million things on the table on the go right now because I've got so many ideas and so many things I want to build. But that I'm like, I have one of those on the table. I'm like, no, he's going on a 40. Fuck you guys.
Is the width of his oval 40? Or is it some weird size?
No, it's like some convoluted little biker base. It's so stupid. It's like 32.
Ew.
But it's super long. Like, it's just... And then, like, competitively, you'd want to put them sideways all the time. It's just so cheesy. Yeah, it's lit dumb. So it looks like the Blues and Jazz Festival is happening in our local area, so I don't know if I assume the store will be open.
But parking will be a tour?
Yeah, so we'll see what the turnout is like for Sunday, but if Darren's opening up, we could do that, or I could host, or we could just go to the store. Just we might just have to walk or something, right?
Yeah, park a bit further away. That's fair.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep, I'm down. I'm still up for a game.
cool. Just so you are forewarned,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like I don't think it will be like overpowering in any way, shape, or form, but like I'm air quote testing my competitive build,
Oh, that's cool. I
which
don't
is
mind
just
at all.
I think the scariest part is just gonna 20 warp towns.
I'm sure we will. I'll experience their their fuckery, so to say, on
Oh no.
the on the table.
I think they're I think they're I wouldn't I so I'm not running out and buying 30 more of them, I should say. Like because I fully expect them to get hit with the old Nerf bat. I would not be surprised.
Makes sense. At least a points increase, right? It's most
I
likely.
don't yeah, I don't care if they increase the points. I will be very surprised if they
Or you think the
keep
ability
that
will actually get nerfed? Okay.
yeah, I think so.
No, it's fair. If it's needed, it's needed, right? Like with all
I
our
don't
stuff.
know if it's needed. It's just like they like to nerf chaos harder than everyone else, you know? So I think, Eldar got to play with their brokenness for a year before they kind of, got reined in. Chaos will probably be a week.
I see what you mean.
I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter.
Yeah, they were definitely slow on the uptake for the Eldar nerfs for sure. Like
Yeah.
tiptoeing around. Maybe we don't have to nerf them, right? How many
Yeah.
how many iterations of that took place?
Yeah,
Felt like
which
every fac.
honestly, I would personally, and I might be in the minority, I would rather they do that slow roll a little bit, unless it's like, the stuff that really needs addressed.
You
Like,
like the start of the edition stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I'm with you.
you don't like bring it in line, don't break it. Like, I think as a consumer, I want the game to be balanced, but I don't want you to nerf my, hard hobbied army so badly that I can't play it anymore. Like I'm okay with you balancing it, but don't wreck it so bad that I can't play anymore. That's not fun.
Oh, it's certainly the big old feels bad. That's for sure.
Or like, yeah, make it cost a bajillion points. That's fine. Then it's up to me if I bring it, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yo, what up, Warp Forge? What is going on, dude? I don't know if you're aware of this army, but Warp Forge also has a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's building a Night Lords army. It's very cool.
Ah,
The
you
Lords of
should have
Night.
brought him on for his input.
Well, I knew I could bug you. I knew I could inconvenience you for Night Lords discussions.
No, I like the Night Lords.
Oh, there's a lot to like. Super likable Legion.
Root for the underdog, right? Like,
They're good
though
bad guys, you know?
yeah, they're like, yeah, um, what's the word? I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? They're likable. And you feel bad for them, especially when they get no rules.
They have rules this edition.
Yeah,
Are
they
you
do.
thinking of
I
Word
was
Bears? Is that what you're thinking of?
Nah, Word Bear's got rules. They got a cultist detachment.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, let me. When. Yeah, I don't want to say names, but When Buddy said that on Sunday, the word bearers attachment clearly for cultist attachment, clearly for word bearers. Like, man, I was like grinding my teeth, trying to be nice because it's like, you fool, you fool. You can't even use their rules on your legionaries. How is that a word bearers detachment?
It's like the it's like when you guys try to get me going with the Alpha Legion cultist detachment, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, no, I don't want it.
it's definitely a meme for sure in the group. But I mean, like realistically, it's
I'm dropping things.
like the word bearers are probably more apt for a cultist attachment. You know, you just want it. Like if the cultist
Well, they've got
attachment
their
could work with the legionaries, there might be some merit to that claim, right?
yeah. Yeah, like you want your cultist worshippers and stuff for sure.
Absolutely. But you also want your legionaries to have rules. Like, duh.
Yeah.
It's an interesting detachment rule because it allows you to Dark Pact in the movement phase, which I kind of think is pretty cool.
It's not Dark Pact, it's
Or
Dark
whatever.
Surge.
Or whatever. Yeah, whatever it's called.
Demonic Surge.
Whatever. No, it's something else. You're wrong. We're both wrong.
I'm pretty sure Surge is in there.
Maybe. Maybe. Jeez, I'm really mucking up this guy's
Oh yes, I was
lemon.
gonna look at the
He's got a lemon on his hip.
stream. I'm gonna load up the stream.
Oh, right now I switched gears to a flaming dragon. Just kind of being unproductive, but having fun, painting different models at the same time, you know?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta have some fun.
Yeah. I'm just like suffering from like prioritization. So it's like right now, okay, because I have a lot of ideas going on right now, and priority is a dark commune and some warp talons. Thankfully, in yesteryear, I painted up 8,000 cultists.
Yeah, you're good to go for cultists. Back when Abaddon could lead like units of 40.
Oh man, I'm ashamed to say how many I've ran.
Abaddon leading his cultists as per usual. Jeez.
You loved it, I know you did.
Yep. Love to hate it. That's what.
You probably put it up. I'll have to go back. You probably did a thematic list build around it.
Yeah, you probably inspired me. I'm so
Mhm.
sure. Abaddon and his cultists. It's insane.
Oh, I wish I was like playing tournaments back then because I think that list had some merit, to be honest
Oh, I
with you.
think so. Dude, that's hard to shift back in 8th or
Had a Noctilith crown in it.
or 9th. I can't remember, but that many cultists benefiting from Abaddon's buff, it's really good. Some might say too good.
Marks were sick back then.
Can't remember what they did in 9th.
Like,
stats,
Slaanesh gave
right?
you.
Give you
Yeah,
stats?
so I took a sorcerer of every kind. So I made 3 units of cultists. So 1 unit had a 5-up invuln, 1 unit had a 5-up feel no pain, and 1 unit was -1 to hit. And there was 90 of them.
And they're all just a toe in with Abaddon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a good guy. Don't let anyone say anything different, okay?
Oh, and then I would supercharge Abaddon, and I would say, forget the cultists. And then when Abaddon went into combat, I'd give him +1 to his invuln save, I'd make a -1 to hit, and he had a 5-up Bimbon.
Jeez. Only a
Or
5-up?
5-up.
No. Oh, 5
I'm
feel no
sorry.
pain. Okay, yeah, that sounds more reason likely.
I gave him I gave him a 3-up Bimbon. I can't remember. So he had a 4-up, and Zeech used to give +1 to his Invuln, so they might have gave him a 3-up Invuln, but I don't remember if that was legal or not.
Might have stacked. You know what? When it comes to Abaddon, I don't mind if he's breaking the rules. I feel
Yeah,
like
he
that's his
should do
thing,
it.
You know?
He should do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's literally he has like real life plot armor by the Chaos Scouts. He's allowed to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Margaret Wood has a question here. Do we think we'll ever get a proper modular multi-part kit for Dark Eldar Grotesques?
Multi-part? I would. So like I'm not super familiar with all of the Dark Eldar line, but if I were to say multi-part, just in general, probably not, because everything they're going to mostly monopose. What did they give the racks that just came out? Not racks. What just came out in that kill team?
The Animusha guys, I know who you're talking about. I can't. Mandrakes, that's what they're called.
Mandrakes. Yeah, they were all. There was no options for them. I don't, to my knowledge.
I don't think they ever had options, so I think that might be the determining factor regarding that question from Margaret. If I had to guess, I think it's very likely. Like they're due for a kit. Obviously, it's like a monopose resin model, right? Or not resin, fine cast. So when you have to buy like multiples and they're all in the same dance pose, like they're definitely due for a new model. I don't know if it'll be. I don't know the Dark Eldar well enough if the Grotesques have meaningful war gear options or not, or if it's all just like homunculus tools or whatever. Like.
Yeah, I think they used to have like a liquefactor and some sort of sniper rifle.
Yeah, so you know what? That sounds familiar. I think I did
So
a
probably
list builder too.
one of each option.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I think that's likely because they want to redo at least one unit when the Codex comes out. It's kind of the rule of thumb, right?
Wait, was that a super chat? I only respond to super chats.
That was a regular chat. It's okay. We don't have that much activity. We can respond to a normal chat. It's all good. Yeah, I think it's likely they'll get a new kit. Artel does have a nice grotesque multi-part kit, but they're like with most of their models, they're a bit bigger. They look good on 50s, especially with the way they've done the poses. Like their Eldar models can sit on 28mm bases, even though they're a touch bigger than GW's Eldar stuff. But
right,
the Grotesques, I actually have some from them, and the way the poses are, they just overhang a lot on 40s. And I don't know if GW would increase their base size or not. It's possible, like we saw that with Tyranids. Their new Biovores went from 60s to like 80s or something.
Grotesques are probably on 25, so it's quite possible they get increased.
No, I think they're 40s. I think they're the bigger ones.
I'm thinking.
Bigger...
I gotta look up what the Grotesques are.
You'll know when you see it. You'll be like, oh, that.
I just played Scary a few weeks ago. I don't know if he might
not have had Grotesques.
Let me look what a Grotesque is.
It's gonna be gross.
Drukhari Grotesque images. Well, here's the first thing that comes up is a proxy on Etsy. Oh yeah, those. They're not that old a model, are they?
I think they are old.
they're selling them in a single pack here. It must be like the upgraded guy. Yeah, I guess they are pretty old.
It's just the one.
Okay,
It's a
these
model of
ones.
one, man. That's why they're gonna. I think they're gonna
I
get redone.
I bet if I were to predict, they come out with a kit, and you get, if they come in a squad of 5, you get 5 guys, and then 2 of them will have that built-in option.
That sounds like GW.
Yeah. Ew, Finecast. Gross.
Well, it's definitely not.
Warp Force. Warp Force said it's Finecast.
Yeah, they're.
Oh, just throw it in the garbage. I forgot. What did I buy that was Finecast? Those Raptors, those old school Raptors I have. I remember I bought those like last year before we went to mini wargaming, and I grew up with Finecast, but I forgot how terrible it is.
Yeah, I haven't built a Finecast kit in forever, and I think
It's
I
so
thank the
it's
Emperor
so
every night.
thin and so brittle, and oh, it was awful. I do not miss it. You'd be very happy. I'm building a banner guy there, Kiefer.
Oh boy. Oh
Big,
boy. A banner.
big, big old banner, your favorite.
Dude,
For
there's
those
something
of
about.
you, for those of you who don't know, Kiefer, all about the banners.
Dude, banners are the best part about the game, alright? Banners should have rules that basically allow you to win just by having them.
This motherfucker made me 3D print him like 800 banners.
And you know what? With that new mission pack coming out, you saw that secondary mission they have in there, raise the banners. It's all gonna be worth it.
Yeah, you could score. Yeah, you could score like 2 or 3 points a game.
Hey,
Per,
I can tell what you're
per
doing,
game.
and I don't like the disrespect you're putting on banners right now. Leave
No,
banners alone.
I would never. Never.
Doing a bit of color experimentation for these swooping hawks. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do color-wise. I mean, I know I want them to be light blue. I just don't know how I'm going to get there.
Whenever I don't know what color to paint something, I call up my buddy Kiefer. You should give him a call.
Oh, I don't have that luxury.
He's a little bit condescending, but
Wow.
he's still very helpful.
Just gonna throw that out
Condescending,
there just like that.
often negative, but helpful all the same.
Well, at least he's right by the sounds of it. At least it sounds like he steers you in the right
Well,
direction.
in his own opinion. In his
Nice.
own opinion. Right.
I think I might try some Temple Guard blue. I want to mix it with some off-white.
I am a fan of the Temple Guard blue.
Seems like the right amount of saturation. Complete global saturation.
Yeah. Saturation. In other painting words. Yep. Yep. Oh no, I just noticed a dirty mold line after I
Oh, that's a bad feeling.
started gluing on, and then it's in a silly spot.
I found one on a fire dragon I was painting. Felt bad.
It's awful.
Yeah. I
You
resigned.
left it, didn't you?
Yeah, I
I knew you.
did. I did. I
Oh,
felt like I
you're.
came too far, you know?
Oh, and now the whole world knows.
Oh, they do, yeah. I have no shame. It's okay. You know, I'm only human.
You know, I always held you to a higher standard.
That was your first mistake. I'll pull up some reference. Pull up some old reference of the swooping birds.
What is your little homebrew role for the word bears,
Oh
by the
yeah,
way?
the word bearers. Yeah, so it is a conditional feel no pain, a 6-up feel no pain. If you pass a dark pact test, which lasts until your next command phase, that's what you get, and you get +1 to leadership tests if you are within line of sight to a character model from your army, excluding cultists or damned.
Overpowered. Overpowered.
Funny you say that, because in the two test trials I've had, I feel like it's underpowered, and I was gonna actually pick yours and Melon's brain about it, but this week's call didn't happen. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like I would have brought this up to you already. Is all. Yeah, I don't know. I want to try it as is a third time.
Yeah.
But I'm not liking the conditional nature of that perk. Like, I kind of criticize rules every now and again. And often,
It's also significantly stronger if you go first.
yes, so there's a lot of conditional gates on it. So I played Doc on Sunday, and I went first, and, well, if my opponent's hiding everything, and I can't shoot, I still don't get to turn on my defense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there seems to be a. I'm not sure what the solution is. There's always multiple solutions, but I don't know if a page should be taken out of the cultist attachment and then allow yourself to be able to do packs in the movement phase. I don't know. Well, just see. I'd like you to get a first-hand experience with it to kind of give me some input. To be honest.
And then from a from initial like critique point of view,
Mm-hmm.
theoretically, okay, so you have to pass the test for the ability to go off?
No. Oh yes. Yeah. That's how
Okay.
it's
All
written.
right. Okay, so that my question is moot. Then I was gonna say, do you get the feel no pain before you take the mortals or after the, like that kind of thing?
No,
Because
you have
Dark
to.
Pact, you always get the benefit.
Right. You have to pass the test. That's how it's written, and even with the +1 and the re-rolls and stuff, you fail. It's inevitable. It happens a few times a game, and then it is what it is. It's way worse now that you have to take those penalties before you get to swing.
It's significant, eh?
Yep, I feel it. You're just like, ooh.
Margaret said, if GW were wise, they'd do community polling to find out which models the community wants. Wise. Oh, that's cute. If GW were wise. They don't ask what we want, Margaret. They tell us.
It certainly feels that way.
They tell us.
It certainly feels that way.
And then any particular paint range you would recommend besides Citadel? Um, for speed paints, like a contrast paint, I've really been liking Vallejo. For metallics, I really like P3. I think GW is fine. I think they're overpriced for what you get. Like, so if you buy a contrast paint, it's like, $12. You can buy a dropper size from Vallejo for 5. That's Canadian dollary dues.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Army there. GW is overpriced for what you get. The quality is on most paints are fine, right? There's a few colors of theirs I really do like, but your money goes further with almost any other brand. For metals,
Yeah.
I like Vallejo's airbrush metals. Where is it? This thing, this brand, Metal Color. Yeah, I like this shit.
Yeah, I like that stuff too.
It comes in all sorts of shades and golds and bronzes. And I like the for normal paints. I've really fallen for AK's range. AK stuff is pretty great. Their new
I don't have a lot
formula.
of.
This is their. I was informed this is the brand new formula, and I quite like it.
I'm not like a whole. This paint range is the best kind of. My brother is very into paints, and he has lots of paint ranges. He's big on like they're almost like oil paints, the like artist paints. So myself, I have a variety, but it's a mix of like a quick glance. Green Stuff World I use a lot for like technical paints. I really like their color shifts and stuff.
Oh, that's another good
It's
one.
kind of
Yeah.
like for me, it's kind of like a right paint for the right job. Um,
You
I
know what?
like
That's a good rule of
contrast.
thumb. I'm stealing
Uh, yeah, yeah, like metallic ranges. I've got uh, I've got some Scale Crow. Their metallics were nice. But I think my favorite gold, like that blighted gold from P3 for Chaos. Woo!
that.
Woo!
Oh, it's a good
Baby,
one.
gives me chills. It's the best one.
It's like that antique kind of look, that weathered, aged kind of gold. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. What time are we at? 8:30. All right, I'm gonna have to duck out here.
All good, buddy.
Leave you to talk to yourself.
Oh, my favorite thing to do. You want to shout out your Instagram? We got 7 viewers. That could be 7 new followers on your Instagram.
Oh, I haven't posted in a minute.
Oh, then never mind. It's worthless.
Well, probably not since the last Predator I finished on stream.
No worries. No worries. I think in the stream settings for the group calls, I have your link in there, but because this was the solo template for the stream, I don't have your link here. At the
Oh,
ready.
if people want to check it out, it's just my friends call me Al on Instagram. I just want to see P3 Army Painter Fanatic. Fort Forge likes the Army Painter Fanatic from. Hey, I haven't tried those. Pro Acryl. I have a few. Yeah, I haven't. I've so far like I've only tried in Pro Acryl. I've tried green and white, and I don't dislike them, but I haven't been wowed by it. Yeah, Margaret, I've got like the blighted gold's got like a bit of a green, and then there's it's called brass balls. It's a brighter gold, but they're nice. You get like with the GW's metallics are by far their worst paint. You have to do like 10 coats to get anything covered. And some of these other brands like
Yeah.
P3 or Scale Crow or Vallejo, you get much better coverage on one pass. There's nothing worse than painting trim twice just to have to then paint it a third time.
Wash it out. Yeah.
Trim.
You're spoilt painting your Death Watch.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, yeah, thematically, all my Alpha Legion are gonna be Primaris.
It's my
Trim.
theme. I swear. I swear it's my theme. Pull one of those, yeah.
Oh my God, I'm scarred. Like just painting those 10 Night Lords, I was like, I forgot how much trim is on these things. And then I went and bought Warp Talons, and they're even worse. Okay, I'm just gonna clip out this last guy, and then 69, 68, where's 70? Oh no, his body. Where's his body?
It's your Scion.
Yeah. So I was gonna use, so I got 2 Scions, I'm giving them power swords. I got the leader wearing his cool jacket with a baton. I got the standard guy. I just need a Psyker. So I had these Psykers from Blackstone Keep, Black
I know what you're talking about.
Blackforge Keep. What was that? What was that keep called?
Blackstone Fortress.
Yeah, that's the one. But I don't know. I don't know. I've got 4 of them here, and they're all missing their backs. I don't know. Oh,
That's
I'll
a
go look.
bummer.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't me. I'm positive of it. So the problem is I sold all of the extras, so their backs of their robes might be long gone. But I might be able to actually just steal like his big cool bulbous head and put it on a Scion. Make him look like aren't the guard psychers called Primaris psychers?
Yeah, they are. I'm pretty sure that's literally what they're called.
Okay.
They were the first Primaris before it was cool.
They send the guard over the Rubicon first. Make sure it's safe. All right. Okay.
You outie?
I am going to abandon you, sir.
That is all good, buddy.
All right. I will talk to you, or I will see you Sunday.
Sounds good. Talk to you later.
And then your next stream, we can talk about how I smashed you with my thematic Alpha Legion.
Yep.
even with your overpowered rules.
Oh, I'm sure that's why I would lose 100%.
All right. I will catch you later.
Later, dude.
Oops.
Good riddance. Am I right? Am I right, guys? We're better off without them. I'm going to try and get some tunes going if I can here. Let's see here. I switch my OBS scene. There's a way to do it. There is a way. Okay, yeah, something like this. We're halfway there. Let's see if I can get some sort of a playlist going. Alright, hopefully it's not too loud. Oh boy. Okay, I think we're all right. And lower the audio settings. Alright, I think we are good to go. Shouldn't be too loud, I don't think. You guys let me know if the audio is in poor balance. Okay, we'll start painting the I don't know what to call this, like a chin strap, a sort of helmet base, maybe? Face mask, maybe? I definitely want a Biel-Tan accessory or component of the armor to tie them into the, to show allegiance, that this aspect shrine is from Biel-Tan Craft World. And I think the Bealtan Green Helmet is the right call more often than not. I opted against it on the Fire Dragons, but that's because I think their scheme, their helmet color is a bit more integral to their aspect scheme, their color scheme. Let me pull my reference back up here. So I'm going to darken this quite a bit for our shadows and kind of do a bit of an experiment on this lady. Because I don't think those dark areas are reading the way I'd like them to. Definitely due for a palette swap also. The parchment paper is getting a little crowded. Doesn't help that I'm jumping around on different color schemes, but you know, I couldn't resist. You have all these different guys painted. I'm eager to see how the different schemes shape up. Okay, so looking at these guys here, they're all light blue all over on the swooping birds, the swooping hawks. Autofocus is letting me down. I keep giving it a chance. It's like I'm in an abusive relationship with autofocus. Let me grab my bigger brush for this, since it is a bit of a general application here. Working on your 2 Masters of Executions, eh? And a Harkin Kit Bash Warp Forge. That sounds pretty rad, Warpforge. Pretty rad. You call him the Jaeger. Hard not to like. Very cool. Man, there's something about blues that look really freaking good. The Mouth of Nox. I don't. You know what? I think the Jaeger has way more cool factor. So I like where you ended up. But that's quite an origin story for this guy, right? Made a Lancer fail Battle Shock? How embarrassing. But that's the kind of showing you want for your Night Lords. That's the game at its best. What up, John B? Thanks for checking out the stream. We're out here, you know. We're just out here painting our models. Just chilling. My capture software here is bumping up the saturation a little bit because I thought it helped with readability when I was painting other models, but right now it's making this look far more saturated than it otherwise would. Yeah, let's turn off the saturation. I think for this model it's creating an inaccuracy. It's funny how capture software and hardware limitations work, where you have to compensate differently for different colors. So in GW's sample of the swooping hawks, they have a green face mask and wings. Now, I assume that's because Bealtan used to be the poster boys, and this is an old model. So I'm unsure. Should the wings also be green? I mean, it might be interesting. I don't know. I'm kind of unsure if the wings, not the feathers, but the wing architecture, if it should be green. All right, let's get in here. And I'll put some darker areas, darker blue down here. You know, as we do, just trying to reinforce the shadow colors with our darker tones. Probably want to make that diamond a gemstone, probably. It's probably the right call. We'll get some darker paint in the wrist and the crevasse. Right in the cranny. Nooks and crannies. You never hear about crannies. What's up with that? Oh, well, I appreciate that, John B. I think so too. I get bored of competitive lists. It's, I get it. I can see the appeal, like the excitement that comes. I was once a follower of building only strong lists. How can I make it stronger? What's the new combo? What's the strongest build? This unit is shit. What can I replace it with? But I feel like you lose something integral to the tabletop experience. think you can make an argument that it's that same factor that led to word bearers not having a proper rule set in this latest codex is I don't know about that actually. Maybe. Need to think on it some more. But yeah, these streams are just I don't know. I'd be hobbing anyways, so I figure I may as well stream it, hang out and with chat, and do the hobbing I would already be doing. Though some things I won't hobby, or sorry, I won't stream. Anything green stuff related, it's just too much of a mess. Like basing, I don't want to stream that. Well, we got a bit of cleanup to do on our chest. It's a bit of a mess. A bit of a mess. I guess we'll start by just filling in the anatomy a little bit. Following the guides of the model's details. And I guess I should do the same with the darker tones. I'm blending in a bit of AK's Prussian Blue with Citadel's Temple Guard for this experiment. Yeah, AK's Prussian Blue is an awesome color that I fluked into buying. It was just a off the shelf. Let me try an AK paint. And I feel like it's a winner. Oh, nope, we want that brighter. Want that brighter towards the center. Then we have these grooves up here. What are these grooves? I don't think it's anatomy based. I think it's just I don't know, sci-fi lines like you get on superhero costumes. I think you want a lighter section in between. In between. So that you have better at a glance readability. Well, at least it looks a bit better. I can appreciate what you're saying, Miku. But it's a difficult thing because I I am a believer of playing to your audience, right? Like if people know, and this would be a great well, this is a conversation I've had with Army several times, but like because both of us are down with whatever as long as we know what's coming, right? Like if someone organizes a game with me and they tell me that, oh, they're bringing like what Army did uh, when he was signing off there. He said, oh, I want to try out my competitive air quotes list, right? Like, so I know what to expect. But if it's just like a walk-in, it's a bit of a crapshoot. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get, and I feel like that's a bigger problem with the game this edition than it was previously. I think it was always a problem. It's almost like you need to have a understanding. Like, oh, you want to play a game of 40k? Well, what are you looking for? What kind of game of 40k are you looking for? Are you bringing the heat, or are you doing something more fluffy, or something more narrative, or it's not the best terms either, because it is possible to have a fluffy but competitive list, right? The rules may be such that your fluffy list is incredibly competitive. Is there supposed to be music from the icon playing? Well, my audio levels might be too low. I can hear it for me, which is cool. If I'm kind of torn whether or not background music is something chat would prefer, right? Because on the one hand, I could imagine you guys tuning in may want to listen to your own music, right? So I actually don't know what the solution is there. Zacharias, good to see you, buddy. Hey, better late than never. think you definitely want a light edge on this hip plate to contrast with that darker section of the thigh. That makes good sense to me. Almost feels like you want to go brighter, like more pale. It's like a real baby blue looking color when I look at the GW sample. Does cleaning up during batch painting ever make you feel like time is flowing quickly? I guess so. Maybe. Maybe. To be honest, I don't batch paint all that often. Let's get some skin tones down. Some Kislev flesh and flayed one flesh as our base. Those are all right. I'll have some Kurroberg Crimson Wash. And I'll probably mix in a bit of that Temple Guard Blue mix I have to add some cool tones to the face. Because you kind of want to have a warm, cool mix to your flesh tones to make them look a bit more living. So we'll start with, oh, this has got to get shaken a lot more. That's better. Alright, so I've just added a bit of Vallejo glazing medium here to thin this down a little bit. And if we overwrite that green, it's okay. Okay, so now it's immediately easier to see what's going on here. The Zenithal I tried to add in while I was priming kind of muddied up the readability a little bit, and I was like, what is happening with her face? But now that we're getting a base color down, can make a bit more sense of it. I got a bit of AK's green on my palette still too, which I can use for that Beal tan element. But what do you guys think about the arcs of the wings here? Should they be the craft world like Beal tan green color? Like the old box art? The old GW sample? I don't dislike it. I think the green I'd use would create a better effect. Because their green's a bit too drab. A bit too drab for my liking. To answer your question, John B, it's my Eldar color scheme is just classic Beal tan. I wanted just give me a GW classic faction. I want to rep something that should be beloved but is underrepresented. And I kind of have a crush on the Beal tan color scheme. Though the white and green just look so good together, like a minty fresh color scheme. Okay, to start, I'll put a Reichland wash over top of the skin. This is like basic GW recipe stuff. But I find for faces, you really want to work with the anatomy of the model as much as possible, and the wash kind of helps break things apart, so that you have your areas that are clearly going to be recessed, all defined. So this is actually a bit heavier than I'd like, so I'm going to pull most of it off. Sure, that might have been mostly off camera. My humblest apologies. Okay, so looking at what's going on here. Can go back in with some Kislev flesh and start bringing back up those brighter areas. I'm actually going to use we're going to use this for my cooler undertones, the Purple Shadow. It's the same undertone I used for the creepy skin on the cultists, but we're going over it with a much more warm main color for our skin, so it shouldn't be too offensive, I don't think. You know, famous last words, right? It's a little bit of an experimentation. Oh, I'm definitely not doing purple instead of green Warpforge. Cannot. I will not even consider it. It's either Craft World colors or Aspect Shrine colors. That is the established pattern thus far. I don't want to deviate off of that. put a shadow there, shadow there. You gotta lighten that up, or else she's gonna look real old real fast. But that's the general area that we want our dark areas to sit. Yeah, you never see an old elf, right? It's like an old elf is just like a middle-aged looking person. And they're like 1 billion years old. I can probably do something back here to make it look like her hair is buzzed, but not like scalped. But that's more of a flourish for later on. Okay, now with our dark color, we're gonna line the eye a little bit. And then painting in our pupils. So I like to paint eyes a bit bigger than they ought to be painted. I think it creates more of a visually pleasing aesthetic. Probably painting some eyebrows too. Something like I don't know why people don't paint eyebrows. Like, you gotta paint your eyebrows, you know? Okay, and then you gotta put some colors down to sort of line our eye a little bit. And this is very much a building multiple steps, one over another. That music sounded like Phantasy Star for a sec. Threw me for a loop. Like Phantasy Star on PlayStation, on a PlayStation playlist. That's not right. should really break out a smaller brush for this. Got a bit of cleanup to do there. So every brushstroke you do has like such a huge impact on things like faces or eyes or mouths, because you're dealing with such effective low resolution. So in everything you add kind of greatly shifts what's going on. So I got a bit of evening out to do, that's for sure. That's for sure. Now let's try and build up this face a bit more. Oh, it's a bit too bright. Got some Pallid Witch flesh. Sorry, no, this is Flayed One flesh here. Just mixing that in, which should prove to be a bit more subtle, I think. Well, the wing here definitely makes it harder to work on the face on this side. It will be an interesting challenge. That's a bit more reasonable. Have to add more undershadow here, though. I feel like this side's all right. This side's a little smash face. Maybe this is the move. All good, John. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, I don't know how good that's coming across on camera, but I think it's starting to look up considerably better. Camera's definitely adding like a billion pounds, so to speak. Just makes everything look worse. Alright, so I'll take my shadow color here, that purple shadow from Vallejo, and I'm going to color in the lips a little bit, which will help. It should help with like the overall face aesthetics. To, I think, begin painting the hair and, well, her hair and the chin strap, face mask a bit more because it's, I think it's hurting the overall readability, making things look awkward. At least I think so. We'll see if that's the case. So, yeah, Biel-Tan, bright green. I use AK's deep green. I did see those pictures, Zacharias. It's a quite a bummer. No other way to put it. I was tempted to put in a pour one out for my homie's GIF, because it definitely felt appropriate. Okay, I've decided to go in with the green on the wings. Try and ape some of that nostalgia, right? So we get a bit of craft world color on the wings. Actually, I didn't have to go all the way up because I want to blend to that brighter green, and I think it'll look better over white. Or off-white. We'll get a bit of this, a bit of that deep green from AK, and start blending it in. Not exactly sure what I want to do on the wing tips. I see a popular effect on the Instagrams with people creating a glowing effect in between the two layers of the small feathers and the larger feathers towards the bottom. And that might be an option. Might be an option worth considering. What are we thinking for a hair color for this lass? Fire red? I like it. I just so happen to have some Fire Dragon paint on my palette. Man, it's so easy to get lost in face painting. Just start neglecting the rest of the model. think we need to create a bit of a differentiation between the eye and the eyebrow here, I think. I think that would help. Help with the expression. I think it was a success. Just get a bit more attitude out of the expression, right? Well, just try and suggest a lower lip. I don't think it's wise to try and... Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I thought would happen. Can maybe create a crease here. And then clean that up a little bit with the highlight color. Nope, I just erased everything. Such is the process. Alright, so for our hair, or her hair, maybe we can use some Evil Sunz Scarlet. Looking at my palette, I got some orange going still, but I want a red base. Let's try and finish off this Evil Sunz Scarlet. Well, it's certainly red. It's more watery than I would like it to be. But maybe that'll work. Maybe we can even suggest well, the red hair definitely contrasts against the blue armor, that's for sure. This is weird music. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's definitely not what I would call relaxing PS1 music. I find these playlists are overall pretty chill. And then at the extremes, you get some awesome, awesome bangers that are just like, I could listen to those songs on loop forever, but it feels like just as rarely you get some songs that are like, ew. Well, we can get some nice value changes on this, on these wingtips, because the insides will go dark to light, but the sides can go light to dark. And it should have an effect similar to a sword, like when you do the flats of your sword blade's different alternating gradients. Oh, thanks, Zacharias. I appreciate that. The her face is a lot better now than it was before. She was looking a little smashed up for a while. Now, pretty decent. Not my favorite face I've done, but definitely better. I think that eyebrow could use a bit more defining, though. Alright, so now we've made a huge chunker of an eyebrow. So, this is the process, though. Bear with me. Then we'll get some orange. Can I resurrect this off my palette? Oh, geez. I'll try and leave the red present. That way she has a real fiery kind of look to her hair, I think. I'm really digging the suggestion for this red hair. I think it was a winning choice. Pretty good. Maybe we can put some shine in that hair. Let's see. Let's try and get crazy. Try and get crazy with this. So this will either ruin everything, or, and if it's ruined, it's okay. We can go back and, done it once, you can do it again. I don't know. I'll leave it. Might be one of those things that requires a revisit to evaluate properly. So for the back edge of her hair, I want to glaze or something to make it look a bit more, I don't know, not totally like cleanly shaved. To suggest the idea that that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the approach would be. Maybe I have to use a darker red. Yeah, because the light. Like this is a consistency you can't control, but I think that's the right color. So what I'm gonna do is get some of my Word Bearers red and start mixing it in with a skin tone, and maybe that should get me to the color I want. So I got the Word Bearers red, slapping that down. Then I'll use my darkest skin tone I have here. I could use Kislev, but that might be more vibrant than I'd even want. Maybe I can actually make use of Malefic Flesh. We'll try and see. We'll try and see. This is uncharted territory for me. The cool thing about salamanders on helmeted heads is you don't have to worry about hair all that often, because they're just like onyx skinned bald guys with no hair and red eyes. So this is proving to be a different sort of challenge than I'm used to. Yeah, okay, this color might work. Might work. So we're just glazing this in. I want to suggest a perfectly reasonable hairline. You know, alternatively, you could just resort to painting it so it looks like hair. That might be a good backup plan if this fails. So I kind of mucked up the hairline here. I wonder if I could make this more interesting. I gotta say, kind of liking how this is turning out. I think she might need a bit of a brighter skin tone under her mouth. There's a... Well, I guess we can start going back to the body now. That was quite the side quest. I think I got a decent face out of it, so I can't say I'm disappointed or regretful of it. You were considering Red Corsairs. What is the context here? I should probably get some game color black on this weapon. It's my sloppy cleanup. My sloppy model making exposed. Still feel like it's too blue and not desaturated enough. Probably better off doing a contrast method or something for that effect. It's probably It'd be way less work too. Thinking the same kind of approach you'd use for a yellow scheme. You just take a Wraithbone base coat and then airbrush a contrast over top, just tinting it powder blue. Well, I could consider it for the remaining. If they end up reasonably close to this, I don't mind. Hey Raven Redwake, just saw your question there. This is a not a 3D print. It is an Artel W Swooping Hawk. So definitely not a GW Swooping Hawk. I feel like the camera is not doing the model justice, unfortunately. But it is a very nice sculpt. Oh, Zacharias, you're thinking of doing Red Corsairs. A new army project in the works? Yep, I'm inclined to agree with Warp Forge. Red Corsairs have a certain charm to them. They kind of get overshadowed a bit by the other Chaos Legions, but you know, the Battle of Boar's a big deal. And how many characters came out of that narrative event? Felt like it puts you know, Arcs of Omen to shame. Gotta paint the butt. It's very important. Some might even say the most important. You know, looking at at the GW official model as reference, I'm not sure what these hip plates are supposed to be. Some sort of aerial defense projectile? I have no idea. All of the GW Swooping Hawks have some weird hip device as well. They paint theirs silver, but I kind of like the blue, keeping everything matching. But for these, you know what? They might look good red. That's a nice contrasting element. Possibly. My scale 75 green dried up. The wet palette is running low on moisture, but I think this palette paper is basically dead anyways. So best not to, so no need to worry. It's not a big deal. Okay, let's try and hit our hairband here without ruining the hair. Let's see if we can do that. Well, so far, so good. I think for highlights, all we have to do is do a single pass of the AK deep green. Well, things are considerably blue under that arm of hers. So we'll have to do something about that. Layer up a bit of this pale temple guard in the crevice. Well, we have been going for quite a while. Boy, time goes by when you're having fun, doesn't it? I will likely wrap up shortly. Well, not as much progress as I would like, but pretty good. Pretty happy with the results, I should say. Okay, so let's begin the wrap-up phase. Not much progress on our other aspect warriors at all. This dude from last time is basically the same as he was. Might have done a little bit of layering on his helmet, but that's it. Crandrus, I actually didn't paint on stream. He's looking pretty good. I think this kind of separation of his of the armor plating between the gold and green areas are probably in line with the way his official model wants to be separated. Because there are some gold elements on the original model, but they They don't exactly line up with this alternative sculpt here. And then we have our Swooping Hawks test model, basically. These autofocus really letting me down here. Yep, I think the face turned out alright, and I think the hair turned out very well, actually. Jesus, this autofocus. Yeah, I'd say it's an adequate face. Jeez, this autofocus. Why are you like this? Okay, that's probably as good as I'll get it. Oh, thanks for that, Zacharias. I appreciate it. In any case, I think it is time to wrap up the stream. Look how good the hair looks from the top. Nice. Alright, guys. Hope you guys were able to get your projects further along as well. And if you made it to the end, you guys are the real MVPs. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one.